Welcome to our geographical tour of the Premier League. In this video, we'll journey through the regions of England to discover the homes of the 20 Premier League clubs, revealing which areas are the true heartlands of top-flight football. Our journey begins in the northeast, a passionate footballing region represented by two Premier League clubs. First, we visit Sunderland, home to Sunderland AFC, located near the Wearmouth Bridge and the city's beachfront. A short journey north takes us to Newcastle upon Tyne, the base for Newcastle United, whose St James's Park is a stone's throw from the iconic Tyne Bridge. Moving west into Yorkshire and the Humber, we find the region's sole representative, Leeds United. Their ground, Elland Road, is a major city reference near the University of Leeds campus. Now we enter the northwest, the most dominant region outside of the capital, boasting a total of 5 Premier League clubs. We start in Lancashire with Burnley, whose Turf Moor Stadium is positioned close to the Pennine Hills. Next, we visit the city of Liverpool, home to 2 historic rivals. Liverpool FC are located beside Stanley Park, while Everton's new ground is near the UNESCO-listed Pier Head. Just a short drive away is Manchester, another city with 2 giants. Here we find the iconic Old Trafford, home of Manchester United, and the modern Etihad campus of Manchester City. Continuing south, we arrive in the Midlands, which is home to 3 clubs. In the East Midlands, we have Nottingham Forest, whose city ground sits beside the River Trent. Then, in the West Midlands, we find Wolverhampton Wanderers, whose Molineux Stadium is a landmark near the city centre, and Aston Villa in Birmingham, based near the historic Aston Hall. Our journey then takes us to the south of England. The southwest region is represented by 1 club, AFC Bournemouth, located close to its famous pier and beaches. The southeast also has a single representative, Brighton and Hove Albion, whose stadium is near the iconic Brighton Pier. Finally, we arrive in London, a region in a league of its own, containing a staggering 7 Premier League clubs. In North London, we find Arsenal, near Finsbury Park, and Tottenham Hotspur by the River Lee. West London is home to Chelsea, near Earl's Court, Fulham by Putney Bridge, and Brentford, close to Kew Bridge. In South London we have Crystal Palace, near the historic Crystal Palace Park. And in East London we find West Ham United, based beside the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. To understand this distribution, it's important to look at how English cities are structured. London, for example, operates as a single metropolitan area made up of many distinct boroughs. As we can see on the map, boundary lines show how clubs that feel geographically separate are all officially part of Greater London. This is why it can host so many top-flight teams. This contrasts with cities like Liverpool, Manchester or Newcastle, where club identity is tied tightly to a single, continuous urban area. For these clubs, their city is their fortress, and their name represents the entire metropolis. The location of the stadiums themselves also tells a story. Some clubs, like those in Liverpool and many in London, remain rooted in historic inner-city locations, their grounds woven into the fabric of residential streets. Others have moved to new sites, often on the edge of cities, to accommodate modern infrastructure, larger capacities, and redevelopment needs. Ultimately, this geography has a profound influence on the league. It dictates the frequency of local derbies, shapes the unique identity of each club, and defines how fans perceive their team's place not just in the league, but in the country itself. The Premier League also showcases a fascinating mix of stadium settings. Some clubs, like Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, play in vast arenas that are landmarks in their own right, situated within dense inner-city areas. In contrast, clubs like Burnley and Bournemouth are based in smaller towns, where their stadiums have a different scale, dominating the local landscape and forming a core part of the town's identity. On a broader map, we can also see a distinction between coastal and inland clubs. Historically, many of England's major cities grew around industry and key trade routes. Coastal cities, and those on major rivers, like Liverpool, Newcastle, and Sunderland, became hubs of population and commerce, which in turn fostered the growth of early football clubs. Inland industrial centres, particularly in the northwest and the Midlands, saw similar growth, creating the foundations for the clubs that exist today. This history directly influences the map of traditional football regions. When we highlight these areas, the Northeast, the Northwest, the Midlands, and London, we can see that the historic heartlands of English industry and population are still where the majority of Premier League clubs are concentrated. The modern league's geography is a living legacy of the nation's industrial and social history, from the northeast to the south coast and the powerhouse cities of the northwest to the capital. The Premier League's geography is a core part of its story,